Seven, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
You'll never have the sacred stone.
Oh, this you crazy mother.
Morning, guys. I hope you're doing well. It's Coach Rebecca. I am just coming at you this morning with a little video, actually a live feed. I'm still getting used to this whole crazy Facebook Live thing, but I wanted to come at you this morning with something I'm going to try new. It's going to be changing up my morning and what I call my morning miracle. For those of you who have followed me for a while, I have a morning ritual that I do every day, and I'm going to change that up a little bit. Normally, about right now, I'd be in the midst of my workout, but instead, for the next week or so, I am going to try and log on each morning around 6:30ish, a little bit before 7. We're going to try out a couple different times to see who's on live or who's online and when, but just an opportunity to hopefully set your day off in the right way. One of the things that I like to do each and every day is I take about 10 minutes each morning to just kind of center myself, and I enjoy a little cup of coffee with my coconut oil, and just a chance for me to set the tone for positivity in my morning. So I wanted to take a chance to share that with you guys. So today I'm going to actually first, before we do anything, share a little quote that is the topic of this morning. And that is, sometimes the smallest steps in the right direction end up being the biggest step of your life. So tip your toe in if you must, but take that step. So the reason that I decided on this topic, I'm going to turn my little volume down here for a second, but the reason I chose this topic is over the last week, a couple of people, actually several people, had messaged me and shared with me or kind of given me their feedback that they had seen some huge changes in me over the last year. And so first, let me say I am honored. I was completely touched by the fact that you guys have been watching, and that's really my motivation every single day, is being able to share my journey, both the good times and the bad times, because I hope every single day that it gets the chance to touch and impact somebody out there. And so when those of you had reached out to me to say that you had seen such change in me, both physically and kind of, I think, confidence-wise over the last year, many of you also asked the question of, what is it that you've done that's helped you to see such big changes? And it's kind of funny. It took me a couple minutes to really think about that, because you guys use the term big changes, and I think there's so many times where we get so focused on the goal or the end result that we forget that it takes all sorts of small changes or small steps to get us to that end or that big result that we're looking for. And so I put a lot of thought into what maybe I've been doing over the last year that I think have helped me to see the biggest changes in my life, and I want to just share those with you guys now. So I broke it down to 3 little things, I think, but they're 3 little things that have made, I feel, a huge change, not only to my body, but to my heart and soul. And that first thing was probably the scariest change, and that was I really made a conscious decision about a year ago to think about who I was letting into my life and who I was choosing to surround myself with. It's really easy to get caught in this trap, especially in the world of social media, where we're so focused on how many people are in our lives that we forget the importance of their energy and the types of people that we're letting into our lives. And so I would say that the first thing that I did that was scary but a huge impact was really choosing to remove negative people from my life. Now, I know you guys are going to say that's a super difficult thing to do. You've probably got, I know I did, had a ton, I don't want to say a ton, I had several people in my life that I let in that were extremely negative. And they weren't people necessarily that were going to be easy for me to cut off. Sometimes they were family members, and family members that maybe didn't even realize how negative they were being, whether it was that they were just negative about themselves, which was bringing negativity into my world, or maybe it was that they were sharing negativity towards what I was doing, towards my focus on getting healthy. They may have used words, or I guess your words can be a sword, right? They may have just shared that they didn't believe that I was doing the right thing, or that I was being selfish because I was focusing on bettering myself, and they felt that that was a negative thing on my family. So again, just negative people. You guys know who those people are. Trust me. You look deep, and you're gonna remember, and you're gonna figure out pretty darn quickly who might be bringing negative energy into your life. And so again, there were definitely people that I just chose to completely stop associating with. For those that I couldn't stop associating with, to get rid of that negative energy, I really just started to set boundaries. And I did share honestly with those people that I had to interact with every single day the impact of maybe their words on me. And I just asked them very honestly that I hoped that they would kind of think before they spoke when it came to negativity towards me. I shared with them how it made me feel when they did say things that might be negative about what I was doing. And I kind of left it at that. And at that point, I relinquished, or I guess I got that weight off my shoulders. And I was always kind in my words, but I just asked them to please share support, that the journey that I was on was hard, and that I really needed to make sure that I was surrounding myself with people that were going to support me. And that didn't mean that they needed to always agree with me, or that they needed to always, so don't get me wrong, the negative people doesn't mean that everybody has to agree with you that you choose to have in your life, because that's not the case. Sometimes the most important people to me, the people that have impacted me most in my journey, are people that didn't agree with me, but they were still positive about their lives, or they were positive, in a positive impact on my life. They challenged me when I needed to be challenged. They weren't negative, and those are two very, very different things. So again, number one thing I did was really remove negativity or negative people from my lives, people that were bringing me down or weighing me down or carrying negative words towards me. And then if I couldn't completely remove them from my lives, I just spoke clearly and honestly with them, and I set clear boundaries about what my expectations were about our relationship. So that was number one. Number two was starting to take ownership of my happiness. And I don't know if this makes sense to you guys or not, or I don't know. Hopefully you guys are with me. I probably feel for the first little bit of these Facebook Live chats, I'm going to be speaking to myself. But I guess, hey, what's different? I talk to myself every single day. Now it's just recorded and on Facebook for everybody in the world to see if they choose to see it. So again, the second thing that I felt that I did was that I just started to take ownership of my happiness. A big piece that I think weighed down on me for so many years was the constant anxiety that I was so worried about what everybody thought about me, that the last thing ever on my mind was I doing something that was making me happy? Was I focused in on the things that I was doing on a daily basis that were actually inspiring me to get better every single day? I was just consumed by whether or not I was going to offend somebody, whether or not I was going to be living up to somebody else's expectation. And I think the moment that I had a mindset shift, and when I say the moment, you guys, it was a bunch of little moments. This was not an easy change for me to make, in that shift of trying to constantly make everybody else happy and start to focus on making me happy. It was a journey, and it's still a journey every single day, but it really was waking up each day and making a conscious choice about what was I going to do today to make me happy and for my heart to get filled. And a piece of that was waking up every single day and really kind of taking and speaking positively to myself. So, I would do little things. People talk a lot about affirmations. I am not a crazy affirmations girl. I do believe in affirmations, but I'm not saying I woke up every single morning and was like, I'm going to be a millionaire or I am a millionaire. Listen, I don't really believe in that type of an affirmation. What I do believe in, and what I think made a difference to me in starting to focus in on my happiness each and every day, was using positive terms about myself and about my situation. So I would say things to myself like, today I am going to work out and I am going to feel great, because that was something I felt that I controlled, and I just put that positive mindset in my head. Or today, my workout is going to make me feel energized, and I'm going to be a better mom. So it was just little things that set a positive mindset towards not necessarily worrying about what everybody else had to say about me or what people were going to think, but I just wanted to start to take and wrap my arms around the things that were going to help to make me happy for once in my life. And it has been crazy, you guys. It's been crazy. So again, number one was remove negative people from my lives, or control or set boundaries with people that were in my life. Number two was take control and start to focus on and owning being positive and set the tone and take ownership of my happiness. I couldn't let other people control that anymore. I was the person that needed to control whether or not I was happy, and I was doing the things each and every day that were going to fill my heart, and not be focused on whether or not other people would be upset with that or disappointed or feel like I wasn't living up to their expectations. So that was number two. Number three, and that's kind of the reason I chose to do these Facebook live chats every single morning moving forward. And that is that number three was I really started to focus in on taking at least 10 minutes every single morning to do something personal development wise. And when I say personal development, hopefully you guys know what that means, but I started to listen to a positive podcast in the morning. I started to listen to books on audio. For some people, it might be 10 minutes of doing some type of worship, or maybe reading from the Bible or the Torah. But it was something that was 10 minutes. That's it, you guys. I'm not talking about an hour of time. 10 minutes every single morning, I started to commit to just listening or reading or doing something that was going to set the tone for my day. And what I found is that inspiration kind of became education for me. That 10 minutes where I was listening to a podcast, I really felt like I was educating myself on doing things that were going to improve me, educating myself on things that were going to fill my heart, educating myself on ways that I could be a positive influence on other people. And you notice that all these things are focused on improving, taking small steps on improving my life, but also hopefully the lives of everybody who I was interacting with and still associating with. So the third thing definitely was those listening to morning podcasts. And I will tell you, that last commitment, that third commitment of listening to personal development every single morning, I think has changed my life forever. Was I perfect? Did I do it every single day? No. Did I do it probably 6 out of 7 times a week? Yeah, I did. And it became a habit. It became something that consistently filled my heart every single morning. And it was crazy, the positive impact it set the tone for my day every single day. If I was listening to maybe a Joel Osteen podcast, I am not an overly crazy religious person. So it was kind of a weird thing. I think my husband joked a little bit when he heard that every morning I was listening to Joel Osteen on a podcast. But when it came down to it, what I found was there was always a message. Even if you're not a religious person, there was always a message in that podcast that didn't necessarily always have to be a faith-based message, but it was something that was positive. It was something that was inspirational, and it was something that got my brain thinking in a way that I am worthy. I am a good person. I am full of heart. I care for others. And it really set the tone for my day and the type of person that I wanted to be, the type of person that I knew deep down that I was. And it really just inspired me every single day to let that person out and to live to be that better person, one small step each day, one small step at a time. So I don't know if this makes a difference to you guys. Maybe it's kind of what my little mini morning miracle was, but you guys, these three things, when I look back at what has changed me the most over the last year, these were the three things that really stood out to me. Is start, you guys, I empower you right now today to start your week, start tomorrow, start today, to say, who am I going to let impact my life? I am going to remove the negative people from my life. That you have control over that. You choose who you associate with. Choose to surround yourself with positive people, people that are going to lift you up, that are going to make you better every single day. This is such a powerful, powerful tool if you choose to do this, you guys. Start with just removing 2 people that you feel are negative or are sharing negatively. Remove those 2 people and replace them with somebody who's positive. Replace them with this podcast every single morning or with this video cast every single morning. You guys, replace that negative thing with a positive thing, and it will make a huge difference in your world. Number 2, again, take ownership. Stop the excuses. You choose how happy you are walking into your day. You choose. You can choose to set your day in a negative tone and say, oh, I'm not going to be able to achieve the things that I really set out to achieve today because it's just too busy. That's an excuse, you guys. Stop the excuses. You choose today to set your day in a positive manner. So again, take ownership of this and do something that's going to empower and inspire you. Don't worry about what everybody else is thinking or whether you're going to let somebody else down, because I promise you, if you live to your full potential, you will never let anybody else down. And then number 3, start your day with inspiration. Start your day with something. Whether it, again, I welcome you back. I will be back tomorrow with another Facebook Live video cast. So whether it be this video cast, it be a podcast, it be an audiobook, do something for 10 minutes every single day that's going to set a positive tone to your day, is going to inspire you to just, again, be a better person. And I will promise you, if you consistently do just these 3 things each and every day, one small step each day, all of those small steps together are going to turn into big changes that are going to, you'll blink, you guys, and you are going to feel better. You're going to be more confident. You're going to look better, because guess what? Being happy looks good on you. So again, I hope that these 3 little tips will take you into this week and take you into today and inspire you to just take small steps each and every day to achieve big, huge, unbelievable results and goals in the future. Have a great day. As I always end my video cast, love y'all, and I welcome you back to come see me tomorrow for another little mini message to set the tone for a beautiful, beautiful day. Have a great one.
Yeah.